adventure begins.
It seems like Just a Robot got screwed from all angles by trying to cover the Synnibear03 drama. So let me go over the elements of this drama that a lot of people have overlooked. First, a quick recap. It all started with Jar making a horrible video defending another YouTuber named Synnibear03, Cinny for short, from grooming allegations from her roommate, another YouTuber named Birdie. Now, you couldn't tell this from looking at Jar's channel, given the video wasn't even up for 48 hours. Jar was asked by many why he decided to reach out to Sydney, and Jar cites a interaction he had with that creepy reading, which seems to check out.
Now, I personally don't believe you have to interview every single person you make a video on, but I got shit from that creepy reading for not interviewing Daft.
Why Jar thought he would apply to this is something I don't even want to attempt to ask him. That's really something I personally think he should have addressed in responding with receipts instead of half the crap he did, but I bring it up because that, along with another element that caught my interest within the video, probably played a bigger factor, but maybe he could have worked that in also.
And I believe that Cinny was gaslit into doing that by her roommate who goes by it pronouns. When I saw Kumo coming to the same conclusions about Cinny that I came to, along with witnessing him beating a few people in debates about it.
So what I did ask him in DMs is, in your video, responding with the receipts, you talked about seeing Kumo beat some people in debates about it. Do you remember where these debates took place? Jar answered back,
"It was in his comments. I think he was also in a stream with a few people that started becoming more empathetic to Shinny."
Since Kumo deleted his channel, not a surprise to me, cause let's just say I talked to him a while ago, before this whole shit show went down. And I thought I was smart of him when he claimed he was leaving commentary on one of his streams quite a while ago. Clearly that didn't happen, and it probably would have been smarter for him to get out of commentary. Despite that, I managed to find a sample of one of those debates on Chud Logic's second channel.
We're talking about fucking girl talk here. We're talking about these two were gooning over
Girl talk, dude?
Yeah, dude, they're sitting here they're sitting here fucking
talking about?
Oh my god. They were frothing
Christ,
at the they were frothing
retarded right now.
All right, okay, you're retarded. So you're going to listen to me speak, okay?
I feel like this is kind of how he presented it when we spoke even.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
But then, wait a second. Hold on.
Video today?
Hold on a second. When did this come out? 24th of September.
The important thing I want to take away from this is the date, which is September 24th. These seem to be the factors that led Jar to getting into contact with Cinny directly via DM, which happened on September 28th, 2024. The timeline gets complex from here, so I'm going to skip ahead to where Kumo gets a hold of Jar's second draft, where Kumo uploads it to his channel, which causes Jar to panic upload his video in a rush. A bad move on Jar's part that leads to the failure cascade that follows. Now, most people know about Jar's horrible appearance on Chud Logic stream, but here's a quick recap for those who are uninformed. It was suggested to Jar that he should send his video on Synnibear by Cinny to Chud Logic for Chud Logic to review. And Chud agreed to watch the video and gave his thoughts on it. Then right after that, someone leaks Jar's DMs to Sydney to Chud Logic on that very same stream, and Chud started reading them. That's when we get this moment, most watched it seems, where you can see Chud smile a bit before exploding into apparent rage because he's making it out like Jar's trying to use him here.
Okay, dude. Also, I'm going to try and reach out to Chud Logic. Ooh, I remember liking his stream. I think with his help, along with the recording... You little fucking bitch! You little wretch! Is that what you thought, was it? Is that what you thought? You thought you could piss on my boots and tell me it's raining? Well, tough fucking shit, bro. Unlucky. What fucking planet do you think you're on? That you can use my platform? Like that. You think I wasn't gonna fucking notice, you fucking retard. You little autistic freak. Holy fuck, dude, I'm furious. I'm fucking furious, bro. Who does this guy think he is?
He thinks he can fucking launder his shitty video past me without noticing and be put out on my channel to my fucking viewers.
After that, for some reason, Jar decides to go on the Chud Logic stream where they milk him for content. This all happens on October 13th, 2024. At this point in time, let me switch over to the one recorded session I did with Jar, going over the next sort of event in this drama. Here.
I don't think you've done the same thing here. I'm more, again, in the same way that Jar's like, oh, people are going to say he's the next Coyote, which I am going to start saying, by the way, because he has done exactly what Coyote tried to do.
So he's saying you're doing exactly what Coyote's doing. I find this a little bit insane.
Yeah, Coyote was like talking very sexually, extremely sexually, making advances towards Sappho, and also being like, hey, let's move into, they were like planning to move in together, and they met through I believe Zarcarlo, Coyote's roommate. I did not do exactly what Coyote did. Like, I had no plans to meet up with her IRL. I had no plans. I didn't goon with her. I didn't share any porn with her. I didn't hire someone to draw Cinny doing stuff to a 14-year-old like Coyote did. The 14-year-old Sona, to be more precise. Not as bad.
Okay.
But still pretty bad. Sorry for shouting there.
No, I'm just getting your... Did you even watch this before you decided to go on? Did you know about this live stream of Beckett here?
No, not at all. Like, you need to understand there's like a billion trillion live streams going on at any given time. There's just like, I'm gonna be real here, who the fuck watches live streams?
There's an audience for it. Usually they have a parasocial relationship with the content creator they watch, typically.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, it's generally the core audience, and that's who Beckett seems to be catering to. And I'm just saying, I don't know why the fuck, after listening to this, I would have checked what Beckett had to say to Kumo. You gotta love the little live stream rant Jar threw in there. In case you missed it, my point is that the interview Beckett did with him, the Jar call, was on October 17th, 2024. The stream I had Jar watch with me, Copecast, Just a Robot Saves Cinny, with Kumo, is from October 13th, 2024.
I don't think my position's particularly changed on this stuff. I understand where you're coming from, and I don't want to see you get unfairly lumped in with things like the shit Jar is doing.
Like that, for example.
He was calling Cinny's sweetheart. Now, I want to make this clear. I don't think, like, while I do think it's possible that Kumo was trying to do something with Cinny, especially because of the fact he was acting like a jealous boyfriend the whole time, I don't believe he had any intentions until I found out that apparently Kumo's girlfriend, this is just a rumor I heard Kumo's girlfriend lives in the UK. So I'm like, if Kumo sounds American, so I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he wanted to use Cinny thing as a whataboutism. Again, Jar went off on an interesting direction with this. So what I was trying to talk about with this whataboutism line from Kumo is me referring to this.
But I was very clear. I was talking about the discourse around you so that I could cover so I could start a different discourse and have a different discussion without a fucking constant whataboutism. That's why.
If I'm understanding this rant from Kumo correctly, it seems to be him saying that he was doing all this stuff for Synnibear so he could talk about Birdie without people saying, what about Synnibear? You didn't cover that, or something like that. Frankly, I think this is bullshit logic coming from him, but maybe they would have tried to do that.
Why did Jar have to bring Coyote up? Why did he shoot himself like that? I was annoyed because that was my take, and then Jar said it first on Chud Story, because I was sat there going, I could type in that this is like Coyote, and I think I actually DM'd Chud and was like, can you push on the Coyote stuff? I'm fascinated. Because I'm a cunt.
Yeah, I think it's because, like, Coyote is, like, the fucking internet Voldemort name in his community, and he's like, listen, I'm not bad.
Well, I mean,
like,
Coyote...
instead it's like, I'm not Coyote.
He literally did the Coyote thing. That is literally what he
You
did.
literally did the Coyote thing. Did you know that, Jar? It seems a little bit weird to me.
Like, okay, I'm more concerned with what Kumo said, like, oh, he treats him like Voldemort. It's like, okay, do you not know what Voldemort is? He's the guy who should not, he who must not be named. I literally named him.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of the Voldemort thing. But
I do think this was stupid to do with Chud. It really was fucking stupid. It gave them ammo for this narrative of them that they keep on repeating. And frankly, I gotta at least berate you a little bit for not doing research and like, okay, this guy wants to talk to me. Let's see what he's talking about. Okay, that's all.
You need to understand, Lio gave me, like, every time I listened to Lio back in the day, it went well for me. Like, if I did what Lio said, everything kind of worked itself out.
Yeah.
But those were times when Lio had my best interest at heart. This time he didn't. To Lio, I was his ticket back to the top.
I wouldn't even say the top, man. I wouldn't even say the top.
Okay, ticket to like almost 90% of the to where he used to be.
What I was trying to talk to Jar about here was him going on Chud Logic. But the reason Jar talked to Beckett was because of Leo Convoy, who had a part in Beckett's video on Jar. So I can definitely say this smells of a setup. Even after listening to the call between the two, Jar and Leo, because of course Leo uploaded it. And he freaking called Beckett Bear.
Other people came to me asking, and I didn't get involved. Other than a couple... Beckett runs a podcast called the Cope and Seed Podcast, and he's one person.
I know. Okay, now I know who did that.
You need to talk to him because he's going to be fair to you.
Also, he wanted Jar to talk to Kumo.
Another person you need to talk to, and you're going to hate this, Jar. You're really going to hate this. You need to talk to Kumo. If for no other reason than to at least give him your side of some things that are coming.
I meant maybe this wasn't a setup. Maybe Leo is just a really, really bad judge of character or a complete idiot. Still, I'm betting on the setup side of things because of hindsight. And I would say that discussion between the two fits very well into Beckett's freak retrospective, the Just a Robot files, but it really doesn't.
So I, unfortunately, had the displeasure of going through your Susie video today because I had it beforehand. Because I've had people tell me it was in there and I wanted to make sure I knew. So I'm going to tell you what I saw in that video, Jar. I saw you dancing on the grave of somebody who, with the exception of voicing in a video, which you and her resolved between yourselves, dancing on the grave of somebody who'd been nothing but kind.
Like, what does Leo's thoughts about Jar has to do with anything, man? Also the same with Toastify. Is this something to promote these people, or are they trying to give some credibility to Beckett? I'm not going to be soy and say Jar is racist or sexual predator or anything like that, but here are all the things people need to make those claims about him.
The risk of making Jar sound dangerously based? Let's just say the racism accusations are more than just doing some voices. Now, while I don't personally care, I think that there is more than enough here that if you wanted to make that accusation, it is a reasonable one to make.
Can't be sure. My bet is on a little bit of both. But let me get back into this mess. This narrative that Jar had a thing for Cinny seems completely ridiculous and applies better to Kumo. I mean, they can say, oh, we can only see Jar doing it with females. Well, fucking open your eyes, you fucking morons. You're trying to make big claims about someone. Yeah, just the cowardly nature of this just annoys me to the degree. If you're gonna try to cancel someone, don't be a bitch about it.
I have only seen him interact with women.
Yes, it's stupid humor, but it's consistent across the board. Male, female. Maybe Jar's a closeted bisexual, but I sort of doubt it. And you can judge him for that if you want. It is weird. Same with the sleepy time call things. But if Jar is lying with this, he's really fucking committed to that fucking lie. And even if it's weird, it's an even weirder narrative that Beckett and his friends really wanted to push. Because they don't have actual proof that Jar has done anything. Well, really, besides tell bad jokes with people he shouldn't have. Because when I asked Jar what he considers himself, not that I'm a big fan of self-ID, but you want to get the grasp of this. He told me he considers himself anti-woke. And most of the ACC are slightly progressive at best, and some of the more woke side of that group try to downplay it.
Another black creator, Thuman, stepped in to lend support to Omnia and Zay as she felt the two were being unfairly treated by the community. And then Jar appeared with a video collaboration with 2 other creators, so he could also criticize Omnia and Zay. That video he made was dog shit. I would know. I made a video on it at the time. I would link to that video so everyone could go watch it, but it's been private for a long while now. 3 years at this point. Now, I want to be clear about the contents of that video real quick. That is a woke-ass video that was made during a woke-ass time because I am a woke-ass bitch, and I'm fully aware that the political climate has drifted away from where it was when I made it.
But it seems bullshit to me because you don't hide something and try to rewrite it if you're not embarrassed by it. There are exceptions to that, but I doubt that's the case here. And it definitely seems to me the members of
the Synnibear Defense Force
tried to get Jar to have Chud Logic review his video and pressed onto him this sort of thing because they knew that it would turn out something like that. Not all of them, of course, but at least Kumo, because Jar made the claim that he was waiting for his roommate, who was out of town at the time, Professor Dreadlocks, to get back to look it over before he published it. There's also another element that I think might have caused them to think Jar might have gotten cold feet and pressed this on them.
As you can hear at the end of the full call I had with Cinny, I said that I would be making a new draft in defense of Cinny before I talked to Jack. But yeah, I'm going to be changing my video a lot, and I'm also going to have to reach out to Jack because, you know, for all I know, you're
But can't prove that. Still, Kumo uploading a draft copy of the video Jar gave to Cinny, which caused Jar to rush the video out, and that's how he got on Chud Logic's stream. And after Chud watched it on stream, someone from
the Synnibear Defense Force
leaked Jar's DMs with a Cinny to Chud Logic, where Chud made this really weird leap in logic based off of one message from Jar.
Okay, dude. Also, I'm going to try and reach out to Chud Logic. Oh, I remember liking his stream. I think with his help, along with the recording. You little fucking bitch! You little wretch!
Yeah, the laughing at the beginning makes me think this is an act of performative anger for the camera. But I really haven't watched much of Chud in quite a long time. The problem with Jar, as it was made clear earlier, the dude doesn't understand the appeal of live streams or audience. They generally have a smaller audience, but a much more dedicated one. Also remember Beckett, who claimed...
And I think I actually DM'd Chud and was like, can you push on the Coyote stuff? I'm fascinated.
Beckett also had this to say about Kumo leaking the Jar video.
Do you know what? I'm going to give a fucking hot take here. Your video was basically done. Kumo disagreed with it. Kumo can be a fucking troll. Like, again, I'm not endorsing it, but also I don't think it's like a cardinal fucking sin.
Which seems absurd to me. This is the same guy, Beckett, who later said this about Kumo in a video.
Child that's going to be abused by its stepfather, this group chat began after one stupid, drunken mistake. Perhaps appropriately, the first message from Kumo is a burning man, which is pretty ironic in hindsight. Once everyone's made their quirky introductions, they get to the business of talking about Synnibear's upcoming video. And a wonderful theme begins to emerge. This group basically constructed Synnibear's defense. Now I have it on testimony that quite a lot of things happen in calls, so we're only really getting a snapshot of the wider picture. But one thing I can confirm is that the idea that Kumo was trying to pull Cinny away from this group to maintain some kind of control over the narrative does have legs, if for no other reason than the competing ideas and opinions within this group chat. Kumo's involvement in this group chat is actually kind of limited, at least for driving the narrative. Now there is a good reason for this. It's because Kumo pulled Synnibear into direct DMs so he could have those conversations privately. And now we hit point 1 of ACC gay-opping drama. No one trusts any of the other people they're conducting a gay-op with. This is basically exactly what Jar tried to do.
So how exactly did Jar try to do this, Beckett? Any proof of that? Or are you just throwing that in for no reason, or more likely for your sort of narrative that you built up Kumo before he totally spazzed out and you had to do the video, I guess? I don't even know why he followed up with that. Or is Beckett really that dumb that he didn't realize in all likelihood that this
the Synnibear Defense Force
was also trying to gay up Jar? Why Occam's razor shouldn't be applied every time, I really think it applies here. They say hindsight's 20/20. If that's the case, I think Beckett needs a new pair of glasses. Cause there's just so much other bullshit on this Beckett stream titled Copecast Just a Robot Saves Cinny with Kumo. That seems to be in the aim of convincing the audience that Jar is a sexual predator of some type. At least that seems to be where the rhetoric takes certain people. That Jar had a thing for Cinny, and that's why he defended her. But when it actually comes to actual evidence of that,
what Jar's done, it's pretty fucking similar, to be honest. He got overly, I mean, he really did get overly close to the story, to the person, and then just ran hard defense.
Yeah,
Jar's...
hold on. Thuman asked a very big question. I imagine you don't want to pass this one up.
Sure. Didn't you say that Jar is a creep to most women he talks to, Kumo? Now, before you answer this, I also... So, FPS Diesel played a clip on Chud's stream. I know that clip. I am well aware of the person that is being talked about in that situation. But Jar essentially is overly flirtatious with pretty much everyone he interacts with, by his claim. I have only seen him interact with women, and it seems very weird. What I'll say to you with this is, can we see some, like, have we got evidence of this? Have we got receipts from this?
Yes, I'd have to dig for them. Again, like, the Jar video was not meant to, like... I actually wasn't planning on talking about Jar so soon. Like, the way he, like, stuck his nose in this, it felt like a fucking... It felt like a CW show with, like, all the drama and all the names fucking coming in and sticking their nose in things and complicating shit. So I'd have to go back and dig. Fucking Laka, for example, actually reached out to me and told me she has contact, or that he has contact with Harsh Opinions. So I'll definitely pursue that tale and ask about that more in depth, because as far as like that goes, like the relationship rumors, I think I clarified those are just rumors.
Yeah, there isn't a lot. Also, after that stream, Kumo goes on to talk to Cinny with a rather outrageous claim about Jar.
You were freaking out that I was undermining Jar, and this I did, honestly, in hindsight, I shouldn't have. I should have just let you go down that path. But you're freaking out that I tried to undermine Jar in your best interest. Like, I knew how this guy was. I warned you how he was. I told you what position you were in, and I was very conscious and scared on your behalf because of what position you're in. Jar could have raped you, and that's probably what he was trying to, like, that was probably his dream, his end goal.
I think that's the simplest way to explain why people believe Jar is a sex pest at the very best, or have Kumo's insane conspiracy level theory about Jar's sexual antics at the very worst. There's a middle ground between those two that most people would be led to the conclusion, but there's a middle ground between those sort of ideas that I still think is very off. So why is Jar still getting shit for trying to make a video defending someone who might be a groomer or might not? Maybe he didn't do a great job as a defense attorney for this particular matter here. Maybe that's why Kumo was trying to get him out of the picture. Who the hell knows? I'm also curious why almost 9 months later, for a video that wasn't even on his channel for 48 hours, why Jar is really getting some of these comments still. Well, I know most of it. The telephone effect, people milking this down the line without understanding where all this insanity came from and just assuming it's all true. But not like Jar doubled down on it. The dude didn't double down. And on a related note, but sort of side note, do people actually believe the Chud is fair meme? Because he's not. Chud Logic is a drama streamer. He would tell you that himself. The same of Beckett of Cope and Seethe. Both of them don't just actually report on the drama, but they have to, create it in a certain way. When nothing big's going on, you gotta feed the audience. And I have a couple theories of how this sort of went down. that I briefly went into at the end of my last video that I don't want to bring over to this video, but might bring up on a stream very soon. The same can be said of Jar. Talking to him, he has his own set of theories, which he could reveal, but probably would be useless for him to do so. Even though I think they have some merit to them, and I'm not going to reveal them here. Because even if he's correct with his guess, I don't think he's seen the big picture. That these people really just want to make content, and pushing someone into the zone where you can do this with them is something that they seem to be good at. Because let's say Jar did another response, this would just reunite all this crap that just give those who exist in these little gated communities more jargon. That's not my word for it, that's theirs.
I've seen some harsh comments about myself and my coverage, and I don't think they understand that none of us care.
See, they don't care. They want to find more people like Jar so they can create their content. Hell, this reminds me a lot of fucking Lily Ortrick, someone that a lot of people have been milking for content recently. I could agree her media takes are rather god-awful, but I think it's more her sexual deviance and possible crimes. Allegedly, I can't prove it, so let me put that here, but it seems pretty solid to me. And by solid, I mean what information I know, which could be complete bullshit, but probably not. But does that really matter? When in doubt, they'll just, you pluck someone from that person's fan base or supporter of some type to sort of prove how much of a spur that content creator, because their fan is, or their friend or associate. Guilt by association is what I'm pretty much saying, to judge these people. And in some cases, it might apply, but most of the time, who the hell knows? They form these little communities and just back each other up. It seems like, unless it's too hot, then they might backstab each other like Beckett sort of did with Kumo here. But Kumo gave Beckett no choice in the matter, of course. And you know, instead of actually having anything grand or substance to say, hell, lolcow content, it's for some, and I can understand it. But try to turn people into lolcows who definitely on the borderline is questionable. And a lot of these streamers are practically puppet to their chatters. Yeah, that varies streamer to streamer and depends on who the chatter is most of the time. But at the end of the day, this is its own sort of content farm. But what they're farming is a little bit different than what someone like Illuminati or other people like that. See H-Bomber Guy's video, even though I don't totally like H-Bomber Guy, he was sort of on point with that for reference to that. And I think there's more styles with this sort of a networking going on, which understandable given the rise in popularity and usage of a social media like YouTube in this day and age. With that said, I'm done.